Well, hello, Dragon family. Happy holidays to everybody, however you celebrate. Some are in summer, some are in winter, some are in the worst storms in history in their areas. Wherever you are, I hope you are staying safe and healthy, but also just really taking advantage of this time. We are days away from moving into a whole new year. But this power portal that we talked about last Wednesday when we did our solstice meditation and gathering, we have an 8-day period from then. So until midday, so it was 1:48 p.m. Pacific Standard Time that we did the solstice actually hit time-wise for the peak of it. And so 8 days from that is midday come this Thursday, the 29th. And without going into great detail, the information that came was about this being the third in a piece connected to the 2020 solstice, the 2021 solstice, and now this one, that I always felt they were each individually super powerful, each one more powerful than the last. And this one as well was that, but it was also, I kept getting the message and feeling this is a culmination of sorts. And so when the energy started flowing, I had this information come that morning that they are indeed connected. They're in what's termed as like a time pod, and I'm not going to explain that further, but just know that there's a stepping outside of time. There's an opportunity to break the links that pull you into time right now. So if you've been noticing since the solstice, and maybe you haven't been paying attention until I bring it to your attention, that time is wobbling even more for you, that time-space continuum is shifting where things aren't where you put them, or you're just like time blocks are gone, or they stretch out. I swear my Christmas day was longer than possible, and yesterday as well. It was just amazing how much ends up being in certain time sequences, and then others where they're very compressed. And as you move into this is like a cocooning. These 8 days, an opportunity to really be in that space to allow the reset. This is like an internal reset. It's not a rebirthing. It's not a big turning of a corner. It really is like a zeroing out or zipping off of all the links and chains that have bound you into the time continuum as much as you're ready to release them. So your focus on these 8 days, being internal, being allowed to recognize, and even looking, we're going into a new year, right? A lot of people think about New Year's resolutions. What do they want to shift? What do they want to change? What habits do they want to create that they've lost or not held on to? And I would encourage you to actually reflect more on what patterns am I really willing to let go of? Because it's not about creating something new. It's really about things actually create themselves out of the new when you let go of the old patterns. And where can you recognize? And for me, the intention is always allowing myself to see more clearly the patterns that I'm still holding on to, the belief systems I'm still holding on to, that are keeping those pattern structures around me. And if I really want to let them go, how do I allow those deep, deep emotions to surface and to actually dive into them when maybe I've rejected, pushed them back, resisted them for decades, right? So when you feel that and allow those triggers to come, invite the dragons to trigger you, invite the universe to really be in your face and trigger the heck out of you, because that is the greatest gift, to actually let all of that really hit you. How many times have you been triggered by something and you stuff it down, or you just sort of shake it off? Oh, I understand what they're saying, that I can see their point of view, or, oh gosh, I shouldn't let that affect me. But it does affect you, and every time that you squash that emotional response, it's not about having an emotional response back at someone or back at another car or back wherever. It's really about just letting the volcano erupt within your own field, within your own sphere, where it's not projecting onto anybody. And when you do that, that's actually the key to having the new patterns come in. So this is really a big letting go, a big zeroing out reset, especially with the triangulation of these 3 particular solstices in a completion in what's called a time pod. So just allowing that to be your focus of, all right, maybe I still have a couple quiet days between what's usually holidays for Christmas and New Year's for people from work or whatever you do. Take that time, really allowed to go in. And interestingly, the dragon that I'm going to pull a card for us today, one for the energy right now and one for the new year. Actually, I just decided that just came in. We're going to do 2 cards today. So I was feeling really, really pulled to this really deep earth green shirt and the very earthy feel dragon pendant. And I know that it's because that deep earth invitation into the inner core, into your inner core, into the inner core with Gaia, to feel the support of the earth dragons. Because when we focus, if you look at the lineages mentioned in the book, and we know that we have a triangulation of energies, we're working through wisdom, love, and power, and to merge them all in. Well, those are the 3 lineages associated with the fire, water, and air dragons. The earth dragon is the one that really holds the space in the container for all of that to happen, and also maintains sort of a neutrality, just like deep embrace of us. So going in and using the earth dragons right now, one of their gifts is to, and this is what's on the guided meditation that's available with the earth dragon through the site as a download, is about finding that new center where the earth dragon can help really disengage you from this stable center that you've had and move you closer to the true center line that is yours to hone in on, that is your true, what I call a divine blueprint, or your signature, that every time that we can work really deeply and go through these resets, we get nudged over a bit closer and closer and closer to actually that core pillar that we really want to be aligned with, that is us. So the earth dragons are going to be your probably biggest ally right now. And it's funny because we always go into the big. We've got, last week we had the diamond rainbow dragons. We had rainbow dragons, we had crystal. We had all of these beautiful enduring crystal. Amazing amounts of dragons showed up. And in that, we have all these high vibrations pulling us up, helping us see things, helping us get that perspective. And we don't want to forget to embrace, because we are still in body and we're trying to move away from the tie-in to that physical body so that it can shift from carbon to silica. And what's going to be the easiest way to do that, or the biggest ally to help us do that? That's the earth dragon. The earth dragon is the one that at the core, if you look at it sort of like holding both ends of that pillar, you've got the very high frequencies, you've got either the crystal or the rainbow or the dragon or the diamond rainbow out ahead of you, and maybe some guides that are high frequency working with you, the Andaran dragons, or any even of the deep earth or inner earth dragons. Those are like this end of that pillar, and the very core that's still holding you steady is that earth dragon. So embrace the earth dragons right now and invite them in, maybe there's a tandem team working with you, and allow that to be something that as they open and breathe with you, you can feel yourself even becoming aware of where you are still stuck in 3D earth patterns. Where do you still have chains or ties binding you to it? And what more can I let go of? Because your journey with the earth will shift. Gaia is moving into her new earth framework. All the evidence, all of the information coming through right now about her clearing both the inner and outer realms within her bodies in order to be able to invert and move into that 5th dimensional framework fully. It's in place. It's starting. The inversion is starting. So are we allowing ourselves to slide along with that, or are we going to be dragged on at the tail? It's up to you. There's no right or wrong in that, but it's about your journey, the ease and the expeditiousness that it unfolds within. And so taking advantage. Where do I want to feel? All right, maybe I even do a meditation with the earth dragon to tap into and feel, where am I still bound? Do I have belief systems in place? Do I have relationships in place? Do I have something that's tying me structurally into the timeline? Am I free to be able to move in and out of the timeline? And this 8 days is an opportunity to jump timelines, I will tell you that. If there's an ease right now to go between, particularly those 3, but they're opening the gateway to go into any of your timelines and make shifts. You can actually go into timelines and shift your decisions, shift your choice points, and reflect forward the history through all of your timelines. You will see and feel a shift moving forward from all of that, and even the feeling of things that have held you back here, if it's shifted in another timeline that's karmically tied to that, whoa, it's going to change the dynamic of even your memory or emotional baggage around something earlier in this lifetime. So allowing this to be an intention. Where can I let go? Where can I disconnect or have my chains cut? And let me see them. Let me see, because once it comes conscious, like, it's gone. It's literally poof, like gone. I used to work with a woman who 5 years ago, 6 years ago, in my in a coaching thing I was in, she would say, it's poof, like that. And I would really, really challenge that, because all of my years of deep soul shadow work and release and moving forward for 15, 20 years was about, it's hard. You got to dive in. You got to feel it. You got to have the tears. You got to have the, and it was heavy, and it would take weeks or years to move through and release something. Well, that was how it was. But things have shifted now. And because of all the work that those early pioneers did in the collective field to make it easier, it literally is now like, bring something into consciousness and it can release. So the Earth Dragon's your friend. I do want to pull a card for us for this moment while we're still in the solstice energies of what is the message for us directly today in this group sphere as we contemplate and approach a new incoming year on a timeline. It's just the end of a period of conjunct that is moving us into some very great energies come early April. But allowing, let's see, oh, this is funny. Metatron's cube is still faced the wrong way. Just letting the dragon come forward that wants to speak to us. Right at the front. Ah, the gold dragon. One of my favorites. So the gold dragon is the power lineage. And the gold dragon, I feel like, is really just here to tell us, and let me just see I know it's strength, fortitude, strength, and boldness. If you want to see that real up close. Fortitude, strength, and boldness. I love this one. He's one of my favorites on the wall. I feel like the message that he's really giving is he sits with his wings outstretched. And I feel like he's agreeing to holding the space to give you the strength, the fortitude, and the boldness to go into those revelations with the Earth Dragons. That there's going to be this pillar of strength around you being held within a golden framework with the gold dragon. And remember, that golden framework is the new Earth. The whole basis, the masculine structure of the new Earth is in that golden aspect. So feeling those wings around you, which will allow you the security or safety net or just feeling of calmness that you got a big dragon's got your back, so that you can really drop in deeply with the Earth Dragon and go into whatever you need to see and release in order to shift that pillar a lot closer to your true core self. So love that the gold dragon is there. I'm going to pop him back in the deck in case he is also who wants to be with us for the new year. So moving into the energies of the new year for next Saturday night, moving into Sunday with a whole new dynamic with 2023 as our basis. Even though we're unlocking from the time continuums, it is a marker point for our journey here in this plane while we still relate to it in some of the same ways. So I want to know the energy that is the most supportive of us moving forward into that new pattern. And this would be something that we can look to aligning with as we move into that new, looking at not so much what I want to create, what do I want to let go of? Because that allows the creation to start flowing even greater and will result in lots of creative manifestation. I just love the perfection of the dragons, the diamond rainbow. Now that, to me, leading us forward, my whole body is shivering on that, you guys. I'm getting full body chills. I love that because Diamond Rainbow was the one holding space out at the far reaches of our meditation on the solstice. And he's now saying, yes, I am indeed the guiding light. I am the very front runner pushing us forward, boldly opening the gates and pushing it's like the snowplow that goes through the snowbanks. Here's the Diamond Rainbow, just like, all right, I'm leading the path. Who's ready to follow in my wake? Come on forward, guys. So if you have the deck and the booklet, I encourage you to go read both the Gold Dragon and the Diamond Rainbow Dragon. Yeah, Inger, isn't that beautiful? I love that too. Moving forward into the new year, and I'll just read the inversion, doorways, possibility. Those are the three key words on our beautiful Diamond Rainbow friend. Inversion. What did I say? We're in the inversion right now. It's starting. Doorways, possibility. Man, if that's the card leading us into 23, woo! My whole body is tingling on that, because that to me says we are indeed moving through. We are 5D bound. This is, there's no doubt about it. The inversion is in place. We're moving forward, and he is that leading spark out at the front. So let's follow that parade. I love that. I'm imagining this big diamonds and rainbows and all kinds of happy dragons. It's reminding me actually of, if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to, Raya and the Last Dragon. When that came out, somebody actually texted me. They said, oh my God, your movie came out. They just missed an A. I was like, oh, I love that. So Raya and the Last Dragon, at the very end, when the dragons are released, and they all come out, and they are literally cloud hopping, but there's no clouds. They are sky hopping up, down, this way, that way, everywhere. And they're a rainbow of a plethora of colors and forms. And I'm seeing this big parade as we move into this new year with all of these rainbow dragon parades going on. And the festivity and the celebration, like, wow, this just lit me up. I totally wasn't expecting this morning. Definitely excited about that. So right on cue with the Diamond Rainbow Dragon, perfection in the making. And knowing we are moving into that, the manifestation in alignment with our truest self of that ease, that grace, that instant, wow, this is actually what I was just imagining or dreaming of or feeling in my heart that I wanted, and boom, there it is. Doesn't matter if it's a banana or an incredible vacation, they all are the same energetically. So wishing you guys a beautiful week, much alignment, and you know exactly who's here supporting you. Call them in. If you don't know how, download the book this week. And I will remind you, I have said through the end of the month, so all of December, you've got a few more days. I only have a handful of dragon ornaments left. I think one of each of the ones that are on the site. And you might think, well, my decorations are done for the year. But if you're going to think ahead to next year, these are ones that you can't get anymore. I can't get anymore. And they're still 20% off. And the canvases are still buy one, get one half off. So if you've been wanting to treat yourself to something, maybe you got some Christmas money or have just been like putting it on the back burner because you were doing everything for everybody else, there is still that going on. So there's Dragon 20 is the code for the 20% off. BOGO 50 art, I think, is the code for the canvases, but it's on the site. Like, it's actually on the page. It says what the coupon code is. So go in there, find what is calling you to move into this new, what would be your support on the walls around you. I know for me, if you've ever seen these walls here, I'll give you a little sneak peek here. For some of you that haven't seen it before, this is just one wall here. I've got more on that wall. And even the pearl there facing me, which is on the back of each card. This feels like the Earth Dragon's support there. So I do know they create an incredible space, like having energy on your altars, whether it's crystals or otherwise. They come and they hold the space, and I do a transmission into each thing that goes out from me. For your expansion, for what's right on your journey right now in every moment to keep expanding you. So wishing you a beautiful, happy new year, end of your holiday season, whatever you are doing, may it be blessed, may it be in alignment with your truest, highest divine self and blueprint, and that you continually move every day, every moment a step forward into alignment with that. That is my wish for you. All right. Much love to you guys. I will see you in the new year. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.